Wolfchase, Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Melissa McFerrin, and coach of one-on-one week last week. Played early both days. Wednesday had a matinee game that you've seen some of the teams in the American play this year, and fortunate to have the group from campus school come out and create a nice environment and got that win over UCF.
Absolutely, and an important win for us. That was a win that we've had kind of a tough schedule here lately in case people haven't been paying attention. So after being on the road against some of the more elite teams in the nation, it was nice to come home to the El Marone Fieldhouse and get that win. A little shorthanded. We were without two starters. So I just felt really fortunate and really happy for our team that we were able to grind a little bit and get that win.
You never like to be shorthanded, but sometimes that provides opportunities for other players. And you can, you go into shoot around, you go into the locker room and go, look, we're shorthanded. Here's who's available. You're probably going to get a chance to get in the game and show me what you got if you don't get a lot of minutes usually during games.
It creates a bit of an underdog environment, and I think most teams play pretty well when they have that mentality. So we still very much have our goals for this season alive and in place, and we're working very hard to try to accomplish them. So Central Florida is not a game where you want to slip up, because certainly that's a winnable game even on a short roster.
It's one of those grinded out games. You mentioned you were shorthanded. You jumped out to a pretty good start, but UCF with Joy Williams, it doesn't matter if they're at full strength or if they're struggling a little bit. They're going to play very, very hard.
They are. They always do, and they take on the underdog mentality as well, have for most of the season and do at times. That's a little bit the mentality of their program. So they do a great job. Joy does. They had great athleticism at their post players. They're struggling to score right now. And so even though it wasn't the prettiest game, I was really proud of our team because that was a game where we certainly had some adversity and we came out with the win.
And it's always nice to get that afternoon game. You can enjoy it that evening.
You can enjoy it that evening. So it was almost like a day off at the end of that day for our players, which is important this time of year.
Coach, you turn around, you went up to New Jersey to face Rutgers Sunday, and that was a morning game, even on the East Coast. We tipped off at 11:30. It was we talked on the pregame and the postgame show with those two games, UCF and Rutgers, almost like a conference tournament where you don't have to sit around all day. You just get up, get moving, and you're playing pretty quick.
We like it, and I think the players like it. It alters your preparation a little bit because most of us still use game day and game day shoot around to do some preparation for the other team. So we have to back that preparation up into the previous 2 days. So it makes for a busy, sometimes longer 2 days than you want it to be before. But you and I have mentioned this, players love to play. So ball goes up early in the morning, they're happy about that.
You got in Rutgers a couple weeks ago at home. They were able to get the win up in New Jersey, 66-48. They were able to maybe kind of dictate the pace a little bit more than what they did at the Fieldhouse. You got them to run up and down a little bit, force some turnovers. They were a lot more deliberate at the game up there.
They were, and that's really their style. Vivian Stringer wants to control the number of possessions in a game, wants to control the clock, wants to make sure that if they do get runouts, they're getting runouts and the other team's not. I thought their game plan was outstanding, and I thought they played very, very well. We saw a little bit of that early foul trouble that has been a problem for us. We got off to a great start, at 10-0 start, hot from the three-point line. But at the end, as the game went on, we gave up some transition, and their half-court defense was really, really sound. Very difficult as the game went on for us to get the kind of looks that we wanted at the basket.
You've got to credit their defense, but even after that 10-0 run, had a little trouble finding that shooting touch the remainder of the ball game.
We did, and it really wasn't I didn't think we got a lot of open looks, to be honest with you. Rutgers is known as a very good defensive team, and they certainly proved that. They settled into a big zone as the game went on, and quite honestly, without a real strong post presence, we just had a hard time finding shots on the perimeter. I thought we were a little reluctant to penetrate the zone, which we needed to, but we didn't really have an inside-out attack and didn't get a lot of very good looks.
Well, Coach, you're past the midway point of the conference season. You're sitting at 500 overall in your record. Things, even though you're kind of in the middle of the grind, things are going to start coming at this team pretty fast now.
They are. The next three games, I think, are very critical. South Florida game certainly is critical. The Temple game, Cincinnati game. I think the next three games really are going to determine a lot about what happens to us as we go into the conference tournament and then into postseason play. So we can't consider this the grind. This is the money time now.
You talk about South Florida Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at the El Marone Fieldhouse, and You look at Jose Fernandez's ball club, boy, he can throw a lot of players out there, and it's a team, as you look at their numbers, they're attempting, I believe, right around 16 three-pointers a ball game. They're going to come across, and they're going to put it up.
They have two very, very good shooters in Williams, and I'm just going to call the other one Inga because I can't pronounce her last name. So they put up threes. They set a lot of staggered screens. They run a lot of sets. It's a hard prep for a team. It's a hard prep for our young team because there are a lot of sets to remember and a lot of defensive concepts. But I'm excited because we get a chance to go back to our man-to-man defense. We've been forced somewhat by our schedule and by the quality of the opponents to zone a little bit more recently. So we're going to get back to some of our defensive fundamentals with our man-to-man, and we're excited about this game. Again, this is a big game for us on Wednesday.
Then you're going to move up to Philadelphia this weekend, a Sunday game against Temple. It was your first American game that started off the conference season. I believe it was a 6-point loss, but it was a game you had a chance to win there with under a minute to go.
It was a game we had a chance to win. We held a significant lead in the first half. That's when that post-foul trouble really got to us. We zoned them. They found the three-point line. And then we spent the entire second half just trying to work our way back into the game. And had our opportunities, but at the end of the day, it was a tough climb back, and we weren't able to finish that off. Another important game. Certainly on the road, it's difficult to win on the road, but like I said, the next 3 games are going to determine a lot about what happens come March.
All right. Well, Coach, we appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the Fieldhouse.
Thanks, Jeff.
That is Head Coach Melissa McFerrin. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.